Hi everyone, my name is Tolitz. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is all about trying to help you practice and improve your English language skills. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some commonly used verbs, which some English language learners find difficult to grasp because they look much like a verb but function differently. First, I'd like you to watch a video clip from my favorite movie, Frozen. As you watch, I'd like you to take note of the lines that you'll see on the screen. I'll be referring to those lines in my discussion later.
Pardon? Oh, sorry. Let me just get around you there. Thank you. Oh, there she is. Elsa! Queen. Me again. May I present Prince Hans of the Southern Isles?
Your Majesty.
We would like...
your blessing
of
our marriage.
Marriage?
Yes!
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Well, we haven't worked out all the details ourselves. We'll need a few days to plan the ceremony. Of course, we'll have soup, roast, and ice cream, and then... Wait, would we live here? Here?
Absolutely.
Anna.
Oh, we can invite all 12 of your brothers to stay
No.
with us.
No.
Of course, we have the room. I don't know, some of them must...
Slow down. No one's brothers are staying here. No one is getting married.
Wait, what?
May I talk to you, please? Alone?
No. Whatever you have to say, you can say to both of us.
Fine.
You can't marry a man you just met.
You can if it's true love.
Anna, what do you know about true love?
Well, more than you. All you know is how to shut people out.
You asked for my blessing, but my answer is no. Now, excuse me.
Your Majesty, if I may ease
No,
your...
you may not, and I think you should go. The party is over. Close the gates.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys enjoy that video clip? I know you did. Now, look at these few lines from that video clip. Notice the main verbs of each of these sentences. What do you see before the main verbs? There are verbs should, would, may, have to, and can. How do you call these verbs? They're called modals. Broadly, there are two groups of modals. The first group is the simple modals, which are single words like should, would, may, and can. The second group is the phrasal modals, which look like phrases such as have to. In today's video, I'll discuss only simple modals. Simple modals are essentially auxiliary verbs, as they're also called. However, perhaps the best way to think of simple modals are verbs that occur before the main verb and denote a modification of the basic meaning of the main verb in terms of attitude, conditionality of the action, and the like. Later, I'll explain what this means by showing you sample sentences. For now, let me give you the list of simple modals. This table shows that simple modals have present and past tense forms. We think that simple modals do derive historically from ordinary verbs that can be changed from present to past tense, because this historically based relationship still has implications. Later, I will show you using sample sentences why some modals are tenseless auxiliaries. By the way, dare and need aren't true modals. They're called semi-modals because they function as either modals or main verbs. Dare is only used in questions, negatives, and conditionals. Need is only used in questions and negatives in the present tense. Take note that in this video, I'm using the term simple modals, which are single word modals, to emphasize that simple modals are not inflected. Simple modals don't change in form to express grammatical functions, while phrasal modals such as have to do change in form to express grammatical functions. As you can see, every simple modal seems to have at least one phrasal modal counterpart, and some have several. I'll talk about phrasal modals in my next video. To understand simple modals very well, we need to look at three things: their forms, meanings, and uses. In this video, I'll try to focus only on forms and very briefly discuss meanings and uses of one or two simple modals. We have a separate video for meanings and uses of simple modals. First thing to note is simple modals modify the basic meaning of the main verb. In this sentence, my 4-year-old brother jumps. The speaker is saying that his 4-year-old brother springs from the ground into the air. Now, if we place the simple modal might before the main verb jumps, the speaker now is saying that his 4-year-old brother isn't at present springing from the ground into the air, but there is a possibility for his brother to do it now or in the future. Here, the simple modal might modifies the basic meaning of the main verb jumps. Might, as used in this sentence, expresses possibility, a remote possibility in particular. Second, simple modals occur before the main verb. Look at this same sentence. The simple modal might is placed before the main verb. Its position is fixed, always before the main verb. Even in the question form, modal comes before the main verb. Third, simple modal can't be used on its own in a sentence. Simple modal must always be followed by a main verb. We don't say, the repair of the roof would 3 hours. This simple modal would can't be used as the main verb of this sentence. We need to place another verb after would. We say, the repair of the roof would take 3 hours. However, modal can be used on its own when the main verb is understood. It's important that the people involved know the context of the conversation. Look at these lines from the video clip. Anna's reply is, yes, you can, if it's true love. This sentence is composed of 2 clauses, an independent clause, yes, you can, and a dependent clause, if it's true love. Both of these clauses must have basic parts, subject and verb. Look at the dependent clause, if it's true love. In the contraction, it is the subject and is the verb. Now look at the independent clause, yes you can. It has subject, but its verb is incomplete. Can is a modal and must occur before another verb. It requires a main verb like marry. But take note that this one is an exception. In this context, it's okay for Anna not to mention the main verb marry because it's already understood. Elsa understood what Princess Anna meant by yes you can. So it's okay to use the short form yes you can instead of the full form yes you can marry. Let's look at these next lines again from the video clip. This is an exchange between Prince Hans and Elsa. Both Prince Hans and Elsa's utterances are incomplete. Elsa's utterance is a compound sentence. The first independent clause is no you may not, which has subject but its verb is incomplete. The second independent clause is I think you should go, which has both subject you and verb should go. Prince Hans would probably want to explain to Elsa. The full form is probably Your Majesty, if I may explain. Elsa understood what Prince Hans wanted to say, so her reply could have been, no you may not explain, and I think you should go. Because both Prince Hans and Elsa were aware of the context, it's okay for Elsa to use the short form, no you may not, instead of the full form, no you may not explain. Fourth, simple modal is not combined with another simple modal in one clause. It's non-standard to say, will the guests can come tomorrow? This is one clause. Notice that will and can are both modals. To correct this, we need to drop can because will with the plural third person guests expresses futurity. We say, will the guests come tomorrow? Double or multiple modals in one clause isn't acceptable in standard English. However, there are some dialects that use multiple modals, and we can see these multiple modals in popular culture. One good example is Breaking Bad, an American crime drama television series. In its episode 2, there was this line with double modals. Look, there are 2 modals in one clause, might and could. This phenomenon also makes appearances in other media. Fifth, simple modals don't take subject-verb agreement. This means we don't add the singular present tense forming suffix s to simple modals. It's wrong to say Anne will swim later. This is an overgeneralization because simple modals such as will doesn't take the singular present tense forming suffix s, even if it follows a third-person singular subject such as an. Remember that simple modals don't change for the subject's number. In short, simple modals don't follow the usual grammar rules for verbs. You've probably been told that present tense verb with third-person singular subject takes an s. Anne swims. Singular subject Anne takes a singular verb swims. This rule doesn't apply to simple modals. This rule only applies to some phrasal modals which behave like ordinary verbs. Sixth, also the main verb that occurs after the simple modal doesn't take subject-verb agreement. This means we don't add the singular present tense forming suffix s to the main verb that occurs after a simple modal. Without modal, we say Anne swims. Notice that the verb swims is inflected. The suffix s is attached to the verb swim. Why attach the suffix s to the verb swim? Because we need to make the verb agree in number with its subject. Anne swims. Both the subject and verb are singular in meaning. But with modal, we say Anne can swim. The suffix s is dropped in the main verb, just swim. The verb can swim is still singular in meaning. Why do we place a verb in a base form after a modal such as can? The main verb swim is actually from the infinitive to swim. Don't treat swim as an ordinary verb. It's actually part of the infinitive to swim. Simple modals must be followed by an infinitive but without to. Seventh, simple modals take direct question form, particularly the yes-no question. By the way, yes-no question is a type of question that is answerable by yes or no. The same sentence, Anne can swim, is changed to yes-no question by simply dragging the modal can forward. We ask, can Anne swim? Take note that this is not the case for other types of verbs. You can simply drag them forward. 8. Simple modals take direct negative form. The negative word not is either attached to the modal like cannot or contracted like can't. Take note of these two modals because their contractions are very different from the other simple modals. The contraction of will not is won't, and the contraction of shall not is shan't. In formal writing, we avoid using contractions. We use the full forms such as will not won't, shall not shan't. However, in spoken English, the contractions are preferred because, like our own language, conversational English has a very smooth, fluid sound. That is one reason we find native English speakers talk fast and often run their words together. Ninth and last, some simple modals when used in a sentence are tenseless. What you probably know is that the modal could is the past tense of can. That's right, but not in this example. Could I have some water, please? When asking for permission or making requests such as this, could doesn't have a tense. In this sentence, we could have pancake. The speaker is making a polite suggestion. What do you suggest we have for breakfast? We could have pancake. Could in this line is not past tense in meaning. Could is mainly used to indicate polite suggestion. Now that you know the forms of modals, it's time that you take this short quiz. You have only 5 seconds per item. If you need more time, you may pause this video. Answers will be shown, so you can check your answers right away. Here's the first test item. In my next video, I'll be talking about the uses of simple modals may, might, can, and could. Thank you for watching and learning with me. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye!